And we welcome you to the Southwood County 2000 field as we open up the 2019 prep football season for the Assumption Royals. Hello everyone, I'm Milt Van Natta, joined by Art Nepgetzik, who is both our producer and analyst for tonight's football game. And we're all set to begin the Royal season against Whitefish Bay Dominican. The Knights making the trip north and west, and we are set with the Royals to kick off to Dominican. The Royals all in blue, the white numerals, the white trim, the white stripe on the helmets. Meanwhile, Dominican has the black football pants, the black helmet, the white jersey top with the black numbers. And so it's blue and white versus black and white here tonight from the Southwood County 2000 field on this Friday evening, the 23rd of August.
I just hope we have a little better start tonight than we had last night, Milt.
Well, last night, midway through the first period, Neenah had already garnered a 21-0 lead on Lincoln. So, indeed, we're looking for a more competitive first quarter. And the Royals kick it away, taking on the run at the 25. Dominicans across the 30, and a burst out across the 40-yard line on the return there. So the Knights have good field position after Jeremy Timmons returns it from near the 25 to near the 50-yard line. On this Assumption Royal roster, you have 22 young men. 9 of them are freshmen, by far the most of all. There's 4 sophomores, there's 5 juniors, there's 4 seniors, but this is a freshman-dominated team and a freshman-sophomore-dominated team. It'll be interesting to watch them in their progress throughout this year. Inside handoff on first down across midfield, and to about the 48 of Assumption goes the Dominican Knights. Ian Stefniak, number 4, is the quarterback. The fullback, who just ran that last one, is Philip Simpson. Simpson's a young kid. He didn't graduate until 2022. So one back, excuse me, Art, there goes Simpson again. He's to the Royal 45, where it'll be 3rd and 3, please.
Dominican, if you don't know, is on the north side of Milwaukee in the Whitefish Bay suburb, about a 2.5-hour drive from here.
And they've had some great athletic programs over the years, in particular in boys basketball.
Yes. Some
championship teams that I recall. So here's the third down play. First down's at the 42, and Simpsons is not going to make it. He is stuffed and turned back by 3 Royals at the 44, and it's going to be 4th down and about 2 yards to go. Outstanding job there. Derek Bathke was one of those who was in there, one of 3 that was able to identify that stuffed the hole right at the 44. And Dominican is going to go for it here. They have a 4th and 2 just inside of Royal territory, and they will go for it. New running back here is Timmons, the man who brought the kickoff back, and he is able to just get enough for the first down as he steps inside of the 42 for the first down. So that took them all 4 downs, but they're able to get the first down on their first possession of the night. Beautiful night. Temperature is somewhere I would guess in the 60s as we start the ball game tonight. Less breeze than we had last night. It's a very comfortable late summer evening. So long time here at the line of scrimmage as Stefniak looks at the play card on his wristband. And he's going to tuck it into the belly of Timmons again. And he surges inside of the 35 to near the 34-yard line. Jeremy Timmons, young back, as I mentioned now, They don't put the year in school here on the roster for Whitefish Bay. They put the graduation year. Simmons does not graduate till 2022, which, if I'm doing my math right, that means 2019 is his freshman year. So he's a freshman, the fullback, starting fullback, and there's the man moving on the left side of the line. That'll cost Whitefish Bay 5 yards, and 2nd down and 4 turns into 2nd down and 9.
Just doesn't feel like football season yet, does it, Milt?
It feels early yet, Art. Yep, it does.
Well, they're hanging on to the ball tonight. I think last night we had 2 or 3 exchanges already by now.
No, man, we did. It was not a good night for snaps last night. Centers and quarterbacks and punters had a tough night. So Dominican's having a hard time there at the line of scrimmage to get things right, and they take a time out to get themselves organized. We just have begun. About 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. This is the very first possession of the night. It's held by Dominican, and they have a 2nd down and a full 8 yards to go for the first down. Jeff Sullivan is again the head coach of the Royals this year. You see him and some of his coaches huddling up with the defensive unit. He's assisted this year by Les Sullivan, George Hartley, Drew Swindrowski, Joe Rails, Taylor Manuel.
We've got a good-looking field this year, and nice bright goalposts and a well-manicured field.
Looks like those goalposts are freshly painted, doesn't it?
They have been. They weren't that way during the summer.
So 2nd down and 8. First pass of the night is fired down the near sideline. The arm was hit of the quarterback. He bumped into one of the oncoming rushers. That might have been Derek Bathke who was in there. His pass intended for Efren Burns was, because of that, short. And Burns tried to cut back. He saw that it was a short pass, but he couldn't get back to the football. So good pressure there by the Royals on the pass rush, and it'll be 3rd and long. 2 receivers up to the top of your screen, Burns to the bottom. Option play here. Pass is caught. 25-20, first down the sideline and inside of the 5-yard line. Stefaniak finding number 20. Let me see here. Is that 22?
That was a good-looking play right
there. Yeah, 22. Sean Dugopolsky makes the catch and a nice run down the sidelines, and Dominican gets the 1st and goal at the 3. Straight ahead run, and this is a touchdown for Philip Simpson. So Dominican gets the ball first and gets a score. They're up 6-0. Sean
Dugopolsky with a touchdown carry.
That was a good-looking drive, wasn't it?
It was. Crisp and quick. They converted the 4th down, and then after that, it was fairly easy. See who will attempt the extra point here. That's the young man who caught the little short pass and turned it up the sideline to set up the 1st and goal, Sean Dugopolsky. The junior has it blocked, but whistles were sounding well before the kick was ever attempted. We'll see what the call is here. It's against Whitefish Bay, and that'll back it up 5. Now, the point after becomes the equivalent of a 25-yard field goal, though they'll only get 1 point, of course.
That would have been a no-brainer last night, wouldn't it, Milt?
Oh man, that young fellow for Neenah can kick the football. I thought your comment was great, Art, and that was that he's going to kick on the collegiate level somewhere. There's a line drive that is wide right, and so it'll be remain 6-0 in favor of Whitefish Bay Dominican. And in just a moment, we'll get a look at our first look in 2019 at the Royal offense. Jarrett Hartley will start at quarterback. Ryan Shaw will be one of his receivers. Reed Dillman will be at running back. Derek Bathke and Cade Stotts will both be in the backfield as well. Up front, Alex Sullivan, the sophomore. Kemper Ross, the sophomore. Ben Elson, the junior. Alex Hoffman, the junior. Hunter Harms, and Kenny Golot. So that will be the starters for the Assumption Royals offense here tonight. But first they'll receive this kickoff.
We must add some latecomers. The crowd is looking a little healthier right now.
Yep. We can give you an exact attendance on the visitor side. That's a pretty quick count here tonight. Exactly 6 folks made it up from Whitefish Bay. Much better attendance on the home side here.
Count them on your hands and take off one shoe.
And it will be Sean Duglapolsky that will kick it away here. Line drive that'll be fielded at the 15. And here come the Royals back with a good return. Nice job here by Cade Stotts. And he's up near the 40-yard line. So good field position coming out for Cade Stotts and the Assumption Royals, who trail in this one 6-0 as you watch Assumption Royal football on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. 60 yards of field in front of the Royal offense. Looking for a score that would tie the game and a point after that would put them ahead. Look at that running back down almost on all four. And that's the man who's got it. Or is it? Who's got that football there? Is it the man at the 45? It is. It's the quarterback, Jared Hartley, who takes it up to the 44-yard line. Pick up of 4 yards.
Jared Hartley with the carry. Second down for the Royals.
Royals just shake the one receiver, Shaw, to the far side. Have slots left and right. Fullback in behind Hartley. And now it's an inside handoff, and Derek Bathke, the fullback, comes across midfield, and he gets the Royal first down.
Last year, if you remember, Milt, Assumption had to play a good part of the season with their quarterback out.
They did, and that was a big blow for them. In fact, I seem to remember him getting hurt. Was it in the first game of the year? Right away, right down here it happened to our left.
At least the first home game.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, right. Yep, the first game that we did. Yep, right around the 10-15 yard line here to our left. We're on the west side. The press box is on the west side. Bathke again, and that time he stuffed at the line of scrimmage by the Knights of Whitefish Bay Dominican. So be second down and a full 10 here for the Royals.
No gain on the play. Second and 10.
There's a first carry for Cade Stotts, and he's got about a yard, but that was a nice defensive recovery by Philip Simpson, number 32. Remember, Simpson played fullback on offense and got the touchdown. He made a nice recovery. I thought Cade was going to have more than that on that run. I thought he was going to be inside of the 45 at least, but instead stopped after a gain of just a yard.
It's a fast-moving quarter, isn't it?
It sure is. We're already down to about 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Pitches to Dillman. Dillman hit in the backfield, and down goes Reed. Back in the Assumption end of the field at the 48. Good penetration that time from the Whitefish Bay Dominican Knights. Bringing up a 4th and long, and you're going to have the Royals punting it away here? Or are they going to go for it? They're going to shake back into punt formation? Yeah, they will. Cade Stotts will kick away to 3 Knights. Usually don't see 3 guys back in punt return formation, but here's a booming kick, a beautiful kick. This field is a 20, and Burns is free. He's broken a couple of tackles, and he's up the sideline. He steps out of bounds around the 37. Efren Burns, the sophomore, 6'1", 164-pounder.
36 yards.
Not a lot of movement out of the flags on the goalposts or the big flag tonight.
No, they're just hanging straight down. So it won't have a big impact, at least anytime soon, on the passing game or the kicking game. 4:15 to go in the quarter as the Knights take over. Looks like some new running backs in there. Stefaniak keeps it here, and he's got a nice chunk of yardage across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Ian Stefaniak with keeper. Picks up 5 on the play.
Look like Dominican has suited up a good number of players, doesn't it?
It does. I count 28 on their roster, 22 on the Royals roster. Here's the second down play. Stefaniak with a quick hitting pass to midfield and a first down to Lee Barnes.
Pass is complete to Lee Barnes.
It's a first down
For the Knights.
right at the midfield stripe. There's an option play. Stefaniak in trouble, and he'll go down. Nice job again by Derek Bathke, who's been very active defensively. The second tackle for loss that I recall.
A couple on play.
He's also made a nice pass rush play, and that's a big play that the Royal defense needed to push the Knights back into their own end of the field at the 48. It'll be 2nd and 12.
I believe Dominicans 2 for 3 out passing tonight so far, aren't they?
Yep, that's what I recall, Art. Stefaniak looking to throw again here on the move, and he throws it out. It's caught.
One hand.
Here's Timmons, loose again. Timmons down the far side of the 30-yard line and out of bounds at the 27. Man, oh man, for a minute that looked like a busted play. It looked like that Stefaniak had pulled the ball down, making a commitment to the run. Then he noticed Jeremy Timmons was open, and he threw a little floating pass that got Timmons a little head start along the far side, and he turned that into a big play, a 24-yard gain and another first down and another scoring threat for Dominican. There's the big bruising fullback, Philip Simpson. He goes to the 23-yard line. That's a 4-yard pickup.
Philip Simpson with a carry. Second down.
You may be able to hear the Dominican coaching staff on the far side there hollering out those signals. There's those play calls that are clear as a bell here in the Southwood County 2000 Field Stadium. No, there's a play fake to Simpson. Stefaniak throws. Man's got it inside the 10 and down around the 6-yard line. Lee Barnes made the catch. And it'll be first and goal. The mark comes at the 7-yard line.
It was a nice play. He had to wait for the ball to get there.
That's always difficult when you're not catching the ball as you run, but you have to stay there and wait for it. Simpson. It's Jarrett Hartley who's hanging on and waiting for help. And the whistle went before that ball came loose. Second and goal coming up. No gain on that last play. We're down to 35 seconds. We'll have one more play here probably in the first quarter.
Second goal.
Timmons and Simpson are in the backfield with Stefaniak. He wants to throw it there. Oh, through the hands of Dugopolski. So it's third and goal with now 5 seconds for the first quarter. And they'll come right to the line. They're not going to huddle up here on this third and goal from the 8.
We need one more good defensive play here.
They're trying to get Timmons out in space. Instead, he cuts it back up and scores. I think that was a swing pass that was designed to go to the pylon, to the far side, but he saw that alley and he made that quick cut. And it's a touchdown for Whitefish Bay to make it 12-0.
Time ran out on that play.
I do believe that we'll have the extra point this way, and then we'll switch ends for the kickoff to start the second period. They're going to run a play to try to get the double extra point that would make it 14-0. Stefaniak wants to run it, and he's in to make it 14-0 Whitefish Bay. The first quarter ends. Whitefish Bay goes 2 for 2 on offensive possessions. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and they lead it 14-0 after one period. You are watching Assumption Royal football on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. The Whitefish Bay Dominican Knights are up 14-0 after one, and they start the second quarter with a kickoff. We're used to the first quarter and the third quarter beginning with a kickoff, but this is the very first play of the quarter. It's a line drive kick that sails into the end zone for a touchback. Gupolski with a strong boot there. So the Royals go from their own 20-yard line.
Milt, I can't remember a lot of quarters starting out with a kickoff, can you?
Not a second in the fourth quarter, no.
Contract result. The first attempt for the Royals.
Full house backfield for the Royals. Just the one receiver. The 3 backs. Tight ends. Here's quarterback Jarrett Hartley for 5 to the 25.
Jarrett Hartley with the
It's a little easier identifying the players tonight, too. It's not all red and white.
Yeah. Second down. It's the first pass attempt, but Hartley's going to pull it down and run, breaking tackles as he gets a first down across the 30-yard line.
Jared Hartley with the keeper. First and 10 Royals.
Got 6 on that scramble. Little misdirection run, and there's open space here for Reed Dillman. He's at the 40, the 30, one man to beat, push from behind, and he dives inside of the 10 to the 5 for a first and goal.
That was a nice run. They had Dominican, everyone was going the other way on that play.
Oh man, great influence run. And Dillman burst free and carried it for 74 yards. How about that?
Timeout Royals.
The Royals call a timeout here. Maybe just to give everybody a little bit of a breather after that long sprint down the field. Man who just broke that run is Reed Dillman. He's just a sophomore, 5'7", 145-pounder.
You can almost get a little out of breath just watching those long runs, can't you?
Not only that, but you can get a little out of breath walking up the steps to the press box, Art.
Right.
When you're either you're carrying that equipment that you are, or my bag that's got about 15 years of press guides in it from Lincoln and Assumption and the River Kings.
Yeah.
I got to go through that and get some of that out of there. I was huffing and puffing by the time I got up here tonight.
Recycle some of that.
That's right. So from the 5, the Royals have a first and goal, their first chance at the end zone tonight. There's some open space and a touchdown for Cade Stotts.
Well, that puts them back in the game, and they'll get a little confidence back now, too, I think. Not that they lost it, but that helps.
Yes, it does. It helps get them back in the game, and inside handoff for the double extra point here, and it's stuffed. Nowhere to go for Derek Bathke. So it will remain 14-6 after Stats in the 5-yard touchdown run. So 14-6, and we'll see the Royals kick it away here.
I think Assumption's still looking for that kicker, aren't they? Last year, I think they had some problems, too, with the extra points.
I seem to recall they had a big lineman that kicked last year. Don't remember the name. Sorry about that, fans, but they used one of their big linemen to kick.
it was nice to see all the Assumption people back here up in the press box that we haven't seen since last season.
Yep, Mark Skiba, Phil Hartley are 2 doors down, and then Randy Paul down doing the game for FHR. A couple more booths down from that. Got the band back together, Art.
Yep.
Ten minutes to go, second quarter, 14-6, Dominican. Short kick to the near sidelines here, and that one's out of bounds. Let's see what they do here. Regardless of what happens, it looks like it's going to be good field position for Dominican.
Looks like the 32, 30, 31.
They're going to re-kick. I heard the referee say they're going to make him re-kick. Alex Sullivan is the kicker. Alec plays tight end on offense and linebacker on defense. Sophomore, 6'3", 200-pounder. This one's fielded at the 32. Brought back midfield and more. It's Timmons again. He's made some big plays tonight, including on the opening kickoff. And Jeremy Timmons into Assumption Royal territory at the 49-yard line. From the Royal 49, Stefaniak wants to throw, throws deep down the far side. It's underthrown, but coming back to make the catch, it's Burns who eludes a defender and goes into the end zone for a 49-yard touchdown.
That was a jump ball all the way, and
pass was underthrown, Art. Yep.
He just jumped higher.
Touchdown pass, complete to Efren Burns.
Looks like we have a couple Royals that are out of uniform down there tonight, don't it?
Yes, we do. They don't have the pads on. Caden Myers is one of those, number 25. The other is Adam Moon, number 66, have their jersey top on, but not their uniform on. We're going to go for 2 here, and that is Timmons again for the 2-point conversion to make it 22-6. 22-6. Folks, so far tonight, Whitefish Bay is 3 for 3. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, so Assumption's got some work to do to figure out how to stop what is a pretty efficient. They've got some skilled guys. They've got some nice guys on the outside at receiver. Got a couple of young running backs who make plays, 3 of them really. And presenting a challenge here tonight for Assumption.
3 pretty good looking drives on the Dominican side.
Yeah, you bet it has been.
Took a long run to get us back on the scoreboard, but we could use another one of those.
End over end kick that'll hit at the 5. They got to pick it up. It's not going to go into the end zone. Picked up and brought back by Stats, and he is going to be taken down short, well short of the 20-yard line. In fact, short of the 15-yard line at the 13.
That ball came down like a long punt, didn't it?
It did. Well, yeah, it came down like a golf ball that hits softly on the green and stays there.
Yep.
I mean, I thought, too, it was going to hit at the 5. It'd take off. It'd go into the end zone, just like earlier in the game. But it hit softly and had that backspin on it,
yep,
and stayed right there at the 3. And it forced Stats to pick it up and bring it out, and he was able to get it to the 13. And now whistle for what? The Knights are applauding a call that goes against the Royals. It's an illegal motion call.
Ball started against Royals.
Take it back to the 8. Folks, we've watched the Royals for a number of years. These are the tough games for them because they're not a passing team. I don't ever remember when they were a passing team in the time that we've brought you the games on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. So they're behind, which makes it difficult given their offensive style. And now they're behind the chains at 1st and 15, which makes it difficult for them. So they're up against it right now. Timeout here, which is all... Let me see. Must have been Dominican's timeout because the scoreboard shows that they have only one remaining here in the half. First down, 15. There's an inside handoff. Nice gain here. All the way out across the 15 to near the 20-yard line. That was Bathke straight ahead. That's a good chunk there. 11 yards. Well, not quite 11 yards. Let me see. About 10, yeah. About 10 yards on the 1st and 15. That helps. Open space here for Hartley. Here he comes to that right sideline. Look at him pitch it out to Dillman, who comes across midfield to the 49 of Whitefish Bay. That was a beautifully executed option play. And just as you thought Hartley, well down the field, would continue carrying the ball, he saw a chance for extra yardage by pitching it back to the trailing back, Dillman, who continued his assignment down the field. And that's a big play there. That's 32 yards.
There might have been a face mask on that tackle, but they had back to the refs couldn't see that one where they couldn't at all.
No flag down, but Art spotting the potential face mask. Bathke through the middle of the 46-yard line. That's 3 yards. Misdirection. Here comes Dillman again. Another big play down the sideline. Inside to the 20-yard line. Boy, that misdirection play has been there.
Yes, sir. Hard pursuit in one direction there, and I think that was a real good call.
The play starts out as if it is a run to the far side, and then they use that little crossbuck motion. It used to be the term way back when. They called it in the 70s and 60s, 70s in that area. Way back, it was a crossbuck when you influenced the defense and brought that runner underneath back to the near side. So it's a first down. Oh, Hartley's in trouble here, and down he goes back at the 25. That pass play never developed because he never had time to set his feet in the pocket and even look up.
No, the blocking broke down right away on that play.
By the time he got back to his spot, he was under duress already. But it's 2nd and 15 from the Dominican 25. The score is 22-6 in favor of the Knights. Oh, it's going to be 5 yards one way or the other. It's offside against Dominican.
Offside against the Knights.
So we're back to 2nd and 10 after the penalty. Penalty negates the sack. Timeout. Dominican will be their final timeout of the half with 6:28 to go in the second quarter. Whitefish Bay on top 22-6, but the Royals are threatening here at the Dominican 20-yard line, and a second down and just over 10.
You're looking for something to do tomorrow morning. Go to Dunkin' Donuts, get your favorite pastry, load up on some coffee. Go over to Lincoln High School and cheer on the Assumption Royals tennis team, as they'll play starting at 10 o'clock in the quad heat with Newman, Pacelli, and Columbus. All going to be here at Lincoln High School and over at West Junior High. So come on over, bring some food, and enjoy some great tennis tomorrow. Cheer on the Assumption Royals.
Here comes the second down play out of the timeout. Option play. Hartley still has it. Dives inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. We're looking here at a 3rd down and 4.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Certainly 2-down territory for the Royals here.
That quarterback keeper has been one of Assumption's bread and butter plays for the last 3 years, hasn't it?
And I think, Art, that Hartley's made good decisions tonight.
I think so too.
Quarterback's got to make good decisions running the option, and I think he has. A whistle. And an illegal motion will cost the Royals 5 yards here. The Dominican coaches next door to us, when it's warm like it is now, and the glass windows are up on both sides, you can sometimes hear, and one of those coaches was calling out that one of the Royals was bobbing his head, which is an illegal motion play. And the officials saw that almost simultaneously, and they now have a 3rd and 9 from the Dominican 19. Pass in the middle, it's caught. It's a first down. Will it be a touchdown? Oh, that ball's fumbled. Was he down? What is the call? It's a touchback. Oh, he fumbled the football before he went into the end zone. He fumbled into the end zone. It was recovered by the Knights, and they'll get it at the 20-yard line. Alex Sullivan, the tight end, caught it. And as he was driving toward the end zone, fumbled the football into the end zone. The Knights recovered, and they'll get it at the 20-yard line. Wow. Don't see that one all the time.
First and 10 for the Knights.
It looked like touchdown all the way, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought he was just a stride away, but he lost control of the football before he stepped across the goal line. That one stings for the Royals. No, I don't know what they're signaling here. It's towards the... They want to put something on the clock. They move it from 4:54 or 4:40 up to 4:54. So they added 14 seconds there. Stefanik, just out of the outstretched arms of Nick Lieberg. Pass is incomplete, but that was very close to being an interception that could have been a pick six even. Second down. We are under 5 minutes for this second quarter. Stefaniak's in trouble. Now he throws. Wide open man. Dugopolski at midfield. Gets by one man. He's sprinting down the far sidelines, and he's going to score an 80-yard touchdown.
That was a big turnaround.
Once he beat the one man, Dugopolski makes the catch, and he scores on the 80-yard pass play from Stefaniak. Wow, 80 yards on the 2nd and 10 play makes it 28-6. They've got some weapons. Burns and Barnes on the outside. Dugopolski plays a slot. Timmons and Simpson in the backfield. 28-6 now with 4:36 to go in the second. They'll kick it this time, and it's Simpson who kicks it through. No, I'm sorry. No good. So it will remain 28-6. 28-6 Whitefish Bay. Boy, that hurts, doesn't it, Art? To fumble into the end zone, and second play after the fumble, it's an 80-yard touchdown pass.
It does, especially with Assumption starting to move the ball so well.
So Stefaniak has thrown 3 touchdown passes here today. We haven't even reached halftime yet.
As you mentioned earlier, it's a little tougher when you're a running team to come back, but we still do have 28 minutes of football left.
Well, here's the silver lining as I see it, Art, for Assumption. You've got 4.5 minutes if you go in and score, let's say you're looking at 28-13. You get the ball to start the second half. You score again, it's 28-20. So there's a path, a silver lining here late in the half and going into the second. And this is a short kick. This will be picked up by Stats, and he'll bring it out across the 30. Has room in the middle to the 40 and down there. So the Royals have plenty of time, 2 timeouts, 4.5 minutes to cover the 60 yards that is in front of them here.
There's the Royals on their own 40-yard line.
Oh, it was his knee down. Who's got that football? Dillman is battling one of the Knights. What will the call be? Whose football is it? It's Dominican's football at the Assumption 37-yard line. Apparently Hartley's knee was not quite down as he tried to pitch that to Dillman, and he pitched it behind Dillman. It's recovered by Dominican. It's down at the 36, and from there it'll be first down and 10.
Well, it's one of the poor decisions he made tonight.
Yeah, we were just applauding his decision making, and that one he should have just gone down. Shouldn't have pitched that one. Didn't have much of a chance. Stefaniak wants to throw again. Has a man in the middle, wide open. Is Duglopolsky, who just scored on the 80-yarder, and this time he's down to the 8-yard line for a first and goal.
First down.
38 yards on that completion. Big chunks now in the passing game.
The Dominicans right at that point of blowing it open, aren't they?
Stefaniak throws, beat corner, up and making the catch. Touchdown for Lee Barnes. Second time tonight. Oh, excuse me, Burns had the other touchdown catch. 80, this is Barnes. So Burns and Barnes each have one.
Do you have his height listed there by you?
Number 6, Lee Barnes, is 6'2". Thin as a rail at 158 pounds, but tall at 6'2". Looks like they're going to have Simpson attempt the extra point here. That would make it 35-6 if good. He missed the last one.
We got to delay a game.
Something here that's going to cost Dominican 5 yards. Moving it back to the 15, and they're going to take Simpson out and put Sean Duglopolsky back in to attempt the point after. 34-6 Dominican. Whoa, look at this snap. Duglopolsky all the way back at the 30, trying to get away. Now he's going to throw it, and it's incomplete at the goal line. So it will remain 34-6. 3:35 to go.
There have been some pretty exciting extra point plays in the past. I can remember a few for the Packers already.
All the way back to the days of Chester Markhold. Do you remember Chester?
I do.
I'm taking you back to the 70s there, Art. I think it was just in the last year or two that he was in town here. He had written a book and was at the, I think it was at the library signing that book.
Speaking of the Packers, I hear they had quite a controversial game up in Canada recently.
Had a what?
It had to do with the field.
Oh, yes, last night up in Winnipeg. Stats at the 12. Nice run to the 41-yard line. So, Royals have 3.5 minutes and 60 yards to cover. Sounds familiar to where we were 1 minute ago on the clock. The turnover changed things dramatically. Hartley sets up to throw in the middle, incomplete. There were 3 Knights there and just 2 Royals. It'll be 2nd down and 10. On the options, the inside handoff to Bathke to the 47. That's a nice little 5-yard pop on 2nd down. Bring up 3rd and about, well, right at 5 yards to go.
One thing to Assumption's credit, no matter what the score is, they always play 4 quarters of football, don't they?
They're a well-coached team, and they the effort is never the question. Oops. Nose tackle jumped, so that'll be a free 5 for the Royals and should give them a 1st down. Cross midfield at the Dominican 48-yard line. Still plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to get some more points before this half concludes in 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
You and I be the only 2 in the stadium that can't run that distance in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, huh?
That's right. Option, fullback, Bathke to the 42.
Jared Bathke with a carry.
Ooh, option play. Dillman's going to throw it. Man's wide open. It's caught at the 10 and down to the 70-yard line. Ryan Shaw makes the catch, and the Royals have a 1st and goal. Clock is running here with 1:35, which maybe because it's a 1st and goal, the clock doesn't stop for the 1st down to get the linesman's chain set. But the clock is rolling here. No, Bathke grinding away. Gets himself to the 2-yard line. Still plenty of time to run 3 plays here. You're not limited by the clock at all. 2 timeouts and a minute to go.
No, and the last thing we want to do is give Dominican another chance before the half.
That's right. To turn over the football and lose a scoring chance. This is an important score to get. Misdirection, and it's a touchdown. Reed Dillman scores from 2 yards out.
Reed Dillman with a touchdown carry for the Royals.
They didn't need a lot of distance on that misdirection, but that plays worked for them every time tonight.
34-12 Dominican after that Royal score. The Royals do here. They're going to kick the extra point. The kicker, Sullivan, is changing his shoe here. Using a kicking shoe with that straight front edge on it, no doubt. And he drills it through. 34-13. All right. Still have a chance now to get yourself a score at the start of the second half when you get that kickoff, and be right back in the football game. 34-13. How about this, Art? We have had 5 touchdowns scored in the second quarter.
By 2 teams.
Yeah, combined. That's 47 points here in the first half. That is a big number. And dare I say it, though, Art, 47 seconds is ample time for Dominican at the same time with their big play capacity.
You're right.
They have no timeouts. That's to the Royals' advantage, of course, but when you have a team that has eaten up the chunks of yardage as they have tonight, let's see how far the Royals can pin the Knights back here. That's been something of a challenge, has been the kickoffs. They've kicked it short into the near side after each of their 2 touchdowns. This one is out of bounds at the 25. They make him kick it again. The clock does not run, of course, until it's touched on this end. So nothing off the clock. It's a line drive kick down to the 33. Timmons still running. Uh-oh, getting to the outside. Beautiful job by Shaw at midfield. Ryan Shaw with a saving, perhaps a touchdown saving tackle on Timmons at midfield.
Pretty clear field in front of him.
Oh, man, I think he gets to the sideline there, and he might score if Shaw does not make that play. So 39 seconds to cover 50 yards. No timeouts. Clock should stop to move the chains. Stefaniak, the quarterback, will let Duglapolski clear. Option. He's going to be taken down right at the line of scrimmage, and perhaps they will be content to let this first half end. They're not going to go into the huddle, but they're not getting ready with any sense of urgency either. We're down to 20 seconds and rolling in this second quarter of the football game. 34-13, Whitefish Bay's on top. Three, two, one, half ends. Whitefish Bay 34, Assumption 13. We'll have the second half for you after a short timeout. You're watching Assumption Royal football on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Dominican to kick off here and start the third period of play with a 34-13 lead. Dugopolski, the kicker. And a line drive to be fielded. Muffed at the 30. Hartley, 35. Fights through to the 40-yard line. Good field position for the Royals to start this possession and this half. Remember, they scored on their last possession of the second quarter to narrow the gap, and if they are able to score here, they can feel as if they're right back in the football game.
Well, you can feel a little bit of fall in the air. I can remember several months ago at this time of the day, or where the sun is, it was 9 o'clock at night.
That's right. The days are shortening. It's the pitch to Dillman. He's got the edge again, midfield. There goes Reed. Oh, is that going to net a penalty? As Reed gets pushed into his own bench, they're going to rule that there was no illegal activity there.
No, I think that the defender was kind of trying to hold himself up there. I don't think that it was malicious or anything.
So at the 45, that's a 15-yard pickup by Reed Dillman, and it'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Royals. Won't be too long, Art. We'll look out to the east here in that forest and see a little hint of color coming out.
Right.
Bathkey for close to 5. They'll mark it as a 4-yard pickup at the 41-yard line.
Derek Bathkey with carry. Second down, Royals.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time of the year when you have all the color. I just dread what follows.
That's exactly it. I was talking with someone the other day. I said, I don't mind fall at all. It's what comes after it that I struggle with. 2nd and 6. Pitch, Dillman has the edge to the 35. I think he was able to garner the first down before he stepped out of bounds. And let me see, he has. They direct the chain gang to move forward. 1st and 10. So a brisk start to the second half for the Royals. And Dominican, which used up its timeouts early in the first half as well, takes their first timeout of the second half 57 seconds in.
Which do you like better, Milt, the spring or the fall?
Well, fall is actually the nicer season because spring can be part winter as well as part spring.
Right, a little soggier too.
It's soggier and it's less stable, but it's that whole deal about what lies ahead.
Right, like starting over, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so much more hope in spring than there is in fall. So 2 timeouts to go. to cover the next 23 minutes of play for Dominican. Apparently the coaches felt it was crucial to make some sort of correction with their defense here. There's that counter action, that cross-buck action to Dillman, but nothing doing this time. Is that the adjustment that they made? We'll see.
That's the first play they ran up the middle for a while, isn't it?
I think they are intended to bring it to the near side. I don't think he ever got there.
I think
yeah. So 2nd and 10. Room for Hartley. And he's covered up and slung down after a 2-yard pickup. Nice job that time by Phillip Jones, the man in the secondary. So it's 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 8. But you just got to feel like this is 4-down territory unless there's a big loss on this play.
Even if the field position doesn't dictate it, the scoreboard kind of does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Option, Hartley, spun around, taken down. Loss of 1 on the play. This time it was Philip Simpson.
4th down.
What do you think, another misdirection?
I know that I got to believe it's some sort of run, Art, because the Royals just aren't confident in the passing game, and the down and distance begs for a pass, but I just don't know if they have that most confidence that they need to.
That play action pass worked pretty good for him.
Yes, it did. It is a pass. Hartley pulls it down. Now he's in trouble, and now he goes down, and the Royals will turn it over on downs. And that's kind of that confidence thing that we were talking about. So the Knights of Dominican will take over at the 33. So what is sunset now, Art? What officially time of day is sunset? Do you know?
I do not.
Okay. It's about 7:33 or so. Still plenty of light, still plenty of daylight. Lights are on here, but there's still plenty of daylight. Ooh, this is a busted play. First time tonight that we have seen Damari Hegwood carry the football, and Hegwood was able to make what looked like a loss into a gain of almost 6, 5.5 yards or so for Hegwood. Slant tipped. The ball's up in the air. Who's got it? Oh, it's caught by Dominican and by Lee Barnes, who will get a first down at midfield. That was one of those 50-50 balls where you hope to get an interception out of the tipped ball, but in this case it was Lee Barnes who made the reception and got the first down for Dominican. Maniac throws it long for Burns, and it's incomplete. Nicely defended by Rico Franklin, number 24 of the Royals. It's one of those jump balls, and
raffle tickets.
The receiver
It
was
was-
looking for a flag on that, but it looked like a pretty clean play.
225 big ones tonight for the winner.
Svaniak pulls it down, eludes one sacker, now down he goes in the arms of Bathke at the 48.
One guy for the keeper.
3rd and 12 coming up after what will be classified as a sack. It was behind the line of scrimmage on a pass play, and so Bathke will get the sack. Now Stefaniak pulls it down, and down he goes again. Back-to-back sacks. It was Bathke getting in there along with Ben Elson. Penalty flag is down. It's a holding. I just don't know which way. Is it against Assumption? Did they hold one of the receivers, impede their progress down the field? I thought that's what I saw, but let's wait and see. The official is saying holding against Assumption.
Holding on the Royals.
It is not an automatic first down as it is on some levels of football, but it's a big 10-yard mark-off, which will turn a 3rd and long into a 3rd and short.
3rd and short.
Stefaniak throwing long, and his man started and stopped, and then Dugopolski, who had slowed to find the ball, dives and makes the catch for the first down at the 21-yard line.
He felt that one. He's still down.
Yep. I think he fell right on top of the football, Art.
I think you're right.
Down tonight. Official timeout. Right, that 50-50 raffle ticket number for $225. 205 0158. 205 0158. Come claim your prize up here in the outdoor. The prize has been won on the field.
Time.
We'll later.
Timeout
Once
is
again, thank you for supporting Assumption Athletics.
Dugopolski continues to be down on the
Again, a reminder that
far side after diving
morning over at Lincoln High School,
for that catch,
cross-country and volleyball
or
teams
diving
begin their season at the
to
Wake.
make the
All
catch.
the Assumption Royals fall teams.
All right, the injury timeout is over, and Dominican has a first down and 10 at the Royal 21-yard line. Scores 34-13, and we approach the midway point of the 3rd quarter. Stefaniak steps in to throw towards Barnes, but that got deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Pass is broken up. Incomplete. Second down.
Second down, pass in the slot is caught. This is Burns,
You got a flag down in this one.
but a flag
There's a flag on the field.
which is in the back backfield, and I've got to believe is against the Knights. It is.
Ball start.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15. Second and long here for Dominican. Up 21 on the scoreboard. Stefaniak throws in the middle, and the Royals' Shaw dives to get the interception but cannot get there.
I didn't see what happened to the receiver on that. Did he fall down or just didn't make it there?
I think it was a poor pass. I think that Stefaniak missed his receiver short, and then that ball was in the middle of the field for Shaw to try to pick off. Quick bubble screen far side, and driving down the sideline is Lee Barnes. He's inside of the 20 in the neighborhood of the 18-yard line, and I would rather suspect that this is 4-down territory. The Dominican, this field goal here is in the neighborhood of 35 yards, and I haven't seen a kicker for Dominican that's got that kind of range. So 4th down and about 7. Stefaniak quickly throws to the deep corner, jump ball, they go after it, and it is caught for the touchdown. Touchdown pass from Stefaniak going to Lee Barnes, and it's our first marker of the 3rd quarter.
Touchdown for the Knights.
That jump ball seems to be a called play, doesn't it?
Yeah, he just threw that up to a point, let Barnes go up and get it.
Right, I think that's the 3rd time tonight.
And it's now 40-13 in favor of Whitefish Bay. Simpson will try the extra point, and quietly, because it hasn't drawn a lot of attention, it hasn't been eye candy, but Stefaniak now has thrown his 5th touchdown pass of the night. That is a good night's work. And a pop-up extra point that doesn't even get to the goal posts. So it's 40-13, Whitefish Bay Dominican. 5 minutes, 42 seconds to go here in the 3rd.
They'll have to use a driver next time instead of a 9-iron on that.
Yeah. We've seen it a lot over the years. It doesn't take long into a game to understand if a team has confidence in their kicker. And Dominican would not want to have to win this game on a field goal.
Oh.
I mean, they played well. I give them a lot of credit. They're a nice team. But the kicking game is not their strength.
No, I think possibly the teams are equal there, too.
Yeah, yep, I think that's fair, Art. Reed Dillman is back there. Cole Statz is back there. They'd like to get their hands on this one as Philip Simpson kicks it away. It will be short and picked up by one of the up men. Across the 40. Nice return here. The Royals are going to have really nice field position.
Royals on the return.
Nakusa plays at home for their opener tonight, don't they?
What's that?
Nakusa plays at home for their opener tonight, I believe.
Oh, they do?
7 o'clock start.
Oh, 7 o'clock. Yep, we had 6 o'clock starts here the last two nights for the Lincoln and Assumption openers. So from the 44, Hartley rolls out. He's got pressure coming. He's going to tuck it in and run. Midfield and the 49 of Dominican. About 6 on first down.
Kurt Hartley with the keeper.
And one of the Dominican players is down. Quickly attended to by the Aspirus trainers from serving Assumption here.
Number 22, am I catching that right?
It's a leg. If it's number 22, Art, it's Sean Dugopolski, who has played such a nice game for...
32 it is.
Okay, that means it's Philip Simpson, the fullback. He scored a touchdown tonight. To his feet now. Oh, and right back down he goes.
I wonder if he's got a cramp. He was holding his thigh.
He's got a smile on his face.
He does.
I hope that's what it is. Hope it's just a cramp. I don't know if that's what you do to get a cramp out or not. I hadn't heard that one.
No, pressure on him. I guess I know it's good news when they're gone.
Yeah, yes, it is. So it's at the 49, and it's second down and 4. Short pass is intended for Dillman, incomplete.
Pass ball is incomplete. Third down.
3rd and 4 now. Option far side. There is room for the first down and more for Hartley to the 37.
Kurt Hartley with the keeper. Third down for the Royals.
And we move down to 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 40-13 in favor of Dominican. This is, of course, a non-conference game for the Royals, who play in the Cloverwood Conference. And Hartley slung down after a pickup of 1.
Kurt Hartley with the keeper. No gain on the play.
Look at Shaw here. Look how far away he is from his teammates. Way down here in the bottom of the formation. Second down, option. Oh, it's a loose football again. And the Knights have it as Hartley tried to pitch that one back to Dillman. I think it was batted down, almost straight down by the Knights. And that is the second turnover of the night for Assumption.
Broken out by Keith on the gate. Fumble recovered covered by the 9th versus 10.
Right there at the 40 is where Dominican will take over. Both the Royals and the Raiders are on the road for week 2. We'll be back with you on the following week for football, again, prep football in the Wisconsin Rapids area on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Oh, throwing it to the near flat. Intended for Timmons, a little overthrown by Stefaniak.
Second down.
Simpson, who plays fullback and left with a leg injury, has not returned. He's not on the field here offensively. I mean, when you have both of these teams, you have players extensively playing two ways on offense and defense. Stefaniak throwing down the sideline, caught beautifully by Timmons. Look at him spin away and fight inside of the 35, and a late flag comes in. Did you see a face mask there, Art? Did you see anything?
Yeah, that's what's called. I didn't see it happen, but they're indicating face mask.
Stefaniak threaded the needle there. He's a short kid, 5'8". I mean, you get to a higher level, you're not going to have a 5'8" quarterback. He's a shorter quarterback, and you see that in his play, but boy, he's accurate. I mean, he has thrown very accurate passes tonight. Here's another one, a short one out to Ephraim Burns. Another penalty flag. Burns is ruled to have stepped out of bounds at the 20, and a flag lays down on the turf at the 26. See what this call is. Referee talking with the side judge.
Picking up the flag. Oh.
It's against Dominican. They go to the far hash. I don't know why he went to the far hash to mark off the 5 yards, but he did. So it'll be 1st and 15. Little delayed handoff to Hegwood. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Bathke in there to make the tackle. Under 3 minutes now to go. We're in the third quarter. Nice job here. This is a beautiful play by Rico Franklin.
Another flag.
They threw that little hitch or bubble screen over to the far side. Oh, man. Personal foul against Assumption.
They may call a face mask on it, but it looked like he had him by the collar.
Wow, big penalty, big mark off here. All the way down to the 19-yard line. Now, coaches are, well, the coaches next door to us from Dominican are calling for an automatic first down on the personal foul. The chain gang says 2nd and 2. Stefaniak will tug it under the arm and run for the first down to the 15-yard line. First and 10 at the 15 of the Royals. Stefaniak on the keeper. He wanted to keep that one from the start. And he got about 2.
Stefaniak for the carry. Second and 7.
And a whistle here and a delay of game against Whitefish Bay Dominicans Knights. So 2nd and 7 is going to become 2nd and 12 in the final minute of the third quarter, and the Knights with a secure lead here, 40-13. Pitches back to Burns. Cuts inside, still on his feet, to the 15-yard line. So that's just about a 3-yard pickup for Ephraim Burns. And the clock now expires for the third quarter. We've played 3. The only score in that third quarter was a touchdown for the Knights. They're up 40-13, and you're watching Assumption Royal football on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Here we go, 3rd and long for Dominican. Stefaniak throws, has a man wide open. It is Ephraim Burns for the touchdown. So Burns has 2, and Barnes has 2, and I don't have access to the Dominican record book, but that is 6 touchdown passes for Ian Stefaniak tonight. (46-13). So Burns has 2, and Barnes has 2, and Timmons has 1, and Dugoplowski has 1. 6 touchdown passes. Quite the night for that young man. Just a sophomore. I mean, they are grooming back for 3 full years. Be interesting to know how much he played last year as a freshman, if at all. Could this possibly be his first game as a varsity starter, and he's thrown 6 touchdown passes? It'd also be nice to know how many yards he's racked up tonight throwing the football. the coaches next door were calling for Dominican to go for the double extra point because that would give them a 35-point lead in the second half, and if I'm not mistaken, would kick in the running clock rule. They are going to go for 2 here. Stefaniak wants to run it, and he's found his way in to make it 48-13, and we'll see if we get an announcement regarding the running clock now. 48-13.
2-point conversion is good.
6 touchdown passes.
Well, it's not quite time to get the shovels out, Milt, but it is time to think about the things that we don't want to do in cold weather.
Simpson, good to see him back in the football game, kicking off after he left the game with the leg injury. Here's Dillman. Reed is, and there's a face mask. Art, he grabbed the face mask there at the 35. This should move it up to midfield to start the Royal drive. 2 officials saw that and immediately tossed the flags.
Well, we got a running clock now, don't we?
Yes, we do. 35-point lead in the second half keys that, and that's the 2-point conversion for Dominican. Kicked us into the running clock. At the 49 of Dominican is where the Royals take over. There's the flag. I think someone stepped into the neutral zone for Dominican. It's interesting in a game like this, normally you'd say, are they going to give the young kids a chance to play? You got the big lead, will you bring some of the... They don't have that luxury. They're playing their young kids. Dominican brings 28 guys tonight. Assumption starts off with 20. There is no young freshmen and sophomores to bring in because they've been playing all night long already.
Right, both sides of the ball.
From the 44. Bathke hit in the hole. Nice drive forward to the 40-yard line. And on 1st and 5, he gets 4. One of the things that's interesting was out in the community today for lunch, Art, and some of the guys from the Port Edwards football team were at the restaurant. And, of course, we know they play 8-man football down there now. And you look at a team like Dominican with 28 guys on the roster. You look at a team like Assumption with 22 on the roster, 20 dressed. If they would ever get to the point where they would consider going to 8-man football. Throw is over the head of the tight end, Sullivan.
So the people from Port Edwards indicated they're going to have a 8-man team this year then.
Well, even last year when we did the game, it was already 8-man.
Right.
Yep, so we did that, Art, on Labor Day weekend last year, Friday of Labor Day weekend.
I remember.
Beautiful afternoon, just gorgeous afternoon. Short pass is caught. Stats gets free, has a first down and more, grinding inside the 30-yard line.
Port Edwards is another one of those schools where, regardless of the score of the game, that the parents and everybody are very supportive all the time.
Yep.
It's good to see. You see that here tonight, too.
On the option, pitches back, and a nice run here again. Cade's Stats goes down to the 17-yard line. Cade is a freshman, playing in his very first varsity football game. Same thing here tonight for Ryan Shaw, who's in the starting lineup.
Second and 1.
And Kenny Golot playing on the line, starting his first varsity game as a freshman. Dillman to the edge, far side. Hemmed in, cuts back, down at the 11.
Milt, did we establish last night that if it goes under 35, that it goes back to a regular clock?
You know, the interesting part about that, Art, is that it never got close enough last night for us to know.
No, it didn't. We may find out tonight.
Yeah, if after the Royals were to score here, for instance, if it would move back to the normal clocking situation. Oh, loose football again. I think that Assumption got on it.
By Jared Hartley. Lost a couple on the play.
So first and goal becomes second and goal from about the 13-yard line. Hartley hands off inside, driving away inside the 5 to the 3 goes Derek Bathke. 4 seniors on this team, fans. Jared Hartley, the quarterback, is a senior. The man who plays linebacker and fullback and just ran that football, Derek Bathke, is a senior. Brian Harms, number 71, a lineman, is a senior, and Caden Myers is a running back and a D-back, and he's a senior. 4 of them on this roster. And Hartley keeps it and dives in for the score. 5.5 minutes to go.
And the clock is stopped.
Hartley scores from 3 yards out, 48-19. The score. They're going to kick for the point after. Alex Sullivan changing the shoe, the sophomore tight end and linebacker. And it's wide left. So it will remain 48-19.
Play after attempt is no good.
Oh, look at that. You see that? Take a shot of this young man by the yellow container. He's getting a drink out of that. That's a drink. Look at him now. Look at Tabathke come over. That's a water dispenser. Brand new device of some sort that's dispensing water.
Right, and it looks like it's will take care of 4 people at the same time.
Yeah, 4 hoses there.
Right.
Still have the Gatorade buckets just to the right of that, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those before. Have you?
No, I haven't. You take care of an 8-man football team in 2 shifts on one of those.
Right.
I'm sure that device works a lot better with water than it would with Gatorade.
Well, they used to have the table with all the cups on it, remember? The managers would be responsible for the card table filled up with all these cups for the players. Now they just walk over to that doohickey and away they go. Sullivan's kick is end over end, and it's driving Burns back to the 20. Sifting his way through, though, across the 40 and to the 43-yard line. Now the clock continues to run, so apparently, Art, that once you hit that 35-point margin, it does not change once it gets under that mark.
Kickoff return tonight results in a 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line.
Oh, now Dominican calls a timeout. They did have new quarterback in there. Stefaniak has been relieved by Ephraim Burns, his, I don't know if it's family or not, quite honestly, but Ephraim Burns has caught 2 touchdown passes tonight. And he's number 80, but number 14 is a freshman by the name of Ethan Burns.
Let's see if they can hold on.
Two weeks and then we're back here.
2 weeks and we're back?
I think that Wisconsin Rapids has Kimberly at Kimberly next week, if I'm not mistaken.
They do, and the Royals head out on the road too.
Right.
Some newer players in the game. Miles Campbell at receiver on the far side. Quarterback keeper by Ethan Burns. He's got a 1st down and more. Still on his feet before he's hit hard and driven back at the 45. I want to try to get the number of this young man who's playing receiver over here. Quincy Cook is number 36, Art. He's the receiver that's coming toward us on the formation. This young man, who is a freshman, is 5'6" and 134 pounds, making his varsity debut. Bobbled that snap before handing it off to Hegwood. He stopped at the 45. Loss of about a yard on the play. Clock's running, and we're under 3:40 for the fourth quarter in the game. 48-19 in favor of Dominican. Burns sets up and throws deep. Got a man. Oh, off the right hand of the intended receiver. Jeremy Timmons has caught a touchdown pass tonight and has made some nice kickoff returns, among other plays. And the freshman Ethan Burns pass, he just got his body turned in an awkward position and he just couldn't haul it in. He needed to make a one-handed catch there and he couldn't do that.
Boy, it's such a nice night tonight. I'm ready for a doubleheader, aren't you?
It's a beautiful night. Beautiful night. And I'd like to correct, that was not Timmons, it was Diego Montel. Sophomore Diego Montel, who reached up and tried to haul that one in. Oh, bobbled a snap, and down he goes at the 49. Ethan Burns brought down for a loss, a big loss.
Fumble on the play is recovered. And number 14, Ethan Burns. Fourth down.
Will they kick it away here? Stefaniak is coming back in. See their punter? Or do they bring their starting quarterback back in for the fourth down play? Burns throws it well. He runs well. Not sure why you change quarterbacks here. Unless he's going to do a quick kick. Yeah, he is. Then it bounds at the 20 and heads for the far sidelines and is touched down at the 17-yard line.
Quick kick on the play will give the Royals
It's good to see the younger people in there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's a lot nicer than watching them pull out bench slivers.
Clock is rolling here, fans. If we had a running clock in the second half of the football game, we're down even as the teams are collecting themselves to head back out on the field. The clock is running. We have just 60 seconds to go now.
I can remember myself how good it felt to get into a game. You know, even if you weren't on first string, that you just got a little playing time, and it's just like you were on the first string when you were out there.
Clock's still rolling, by the way. I don't know if we are even going to have another play. 25 seconds, and the Royals aren't even close to being out there. You're going to let this clock run out after the kick? 17 seconds. I don't see how they get out there and get the ball snapped. Officials aren't the least bit concerned. Well, yep, they are going to give them a delay a game. I was just going to say, they're not the least bit concerned about calling a delay a game, but with 4 seconds to go, they call it. And as soon as they set the ball on the turf, game's over. Final score tonight, fans, is 48-19. Whitefish Bay Dominicans Knights defeat your Assumption Royals 48-19. So, Art, it's always a pleasure. The outcome, we always enjoy it when our local teams do well and win, but always enjoy it. Art Nepgetzik's our producer, our videographer, and tonight our analyst. And I'm Milt Van Natta, thanking you for joining us. Looking forward to the next time we can get together and bring you a Wisconsin Rapids prep football game, whether that be Lincoln or Assumption, right here on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media.